Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic: House passes Anti-Semitism Legislature. Anti-Black epidemicness. Again, today's topic is House passes Anti-Semitism Legislature. But at the same time, anti-Black epidemicness. This is one of those additional things that, again, to me is a timepiece purpose of a reminderness that, be it 3 months from now, 2 months from now, a couple of days from now, today is May the 16th of 2024. So be it 2 years from now, 5 years from now, somebody 10 years from now, a personnel might come across this video and then look back and see again and say, wow, those American Black folks continuously keep going through blatant racism. Now, most people say the racism. I add racial racism very specifically. And they still have this hatred and things like this. And used to have people run across the borders illegally. You got people utilizing various programs and different resources to, fall over chairs and fall on top of boats and things like that, trying to get to the Americanism, and have no idea of the opportunities that numbers of them are getting because of what American Blacks have continually been going through for centuries. A Black pain! And still get no reparations, by the way. And in this topic, the House passes Anti-Semitism Legislature, but you don't hear anything about passing of the Anti-American Black Legislature, do you? And this is why I say again and again. Now, well, supremacists know this because they are the master manipulators of uncomparisonness. And this is why I say again, modern day, unfortunately, millions of American Blacks with American Blackism only have half a generation to 1 generation left before the overall complete destruction of the American Black culture. Yes. Think about this. Anti-Semitism, meaning in general, but I'm going to get to that in a second. But in general, anti-Semitism is supposed to mean that you're supposed to be hating upon what we call Jewish personnel. Now, here's the thing about it. For most personnel, if you're just walking across the street and you see some other people walking across the street, can you say collectively, unless they have a certain type of or with stereotype thinking, what some people think is a Jewish person, if the person did not have that on, Could you actually tell that that's a Jewish person? We're talking about logical analysis now. And how and what does an actually Jewish person look like? I'm not talking about in a stereotype way. So we're not going to play that tactic. What does a Jewish person look like? It's like the great Dr. John Henry Clark, an American Black scholar, intellectual powerhouse. May his soul rest. When he had a video called What Exactly, I'm paraphrasing, or what exactly is a Jaw, Jew? What exactly is that? Great video, great breaking down of that. And so the thing about it is, you say, wait a minute for a second. Well, let me phrase that. Many people ain't gonna do that. But let me just relay this over. A Semite or Semitism or see a Semite is not a look of a person, by the way. It's not a look of a person. Let me look at something here for a second. Semitic, anti-Semitism, right? Keyword in there is Semitic, right? Semite, Semitic languages. The Semitic languages are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family. And they talk about how certain languages, let's see, like certain languages like Arabic, Amharic, Aramaic, Hebrew, and various other languages. Several hundred languages over however long a long time makes up Semitic languages. So how can anti-Semitism, which also keyword is languages in there, how was that now transformed into it's a certain people? And this is what supremacist does when people don't even connect the dots on that. Yes, yes, right, yes. And then the little switchery words, Semitic, right? And you said there's ancient Semitic languages, ancient Semitic various people. I'm telling you, I guess on that, right? I can't be mad at however personnel do what they do. But here's the thing about it. There are multi-American, millions of American blacks that don't even realize the continuous insultingness that continue to keep happening to within American blackism. But at the same time, House passes Anti-Semitism Legislature, but you don't hear anything again about specifically American black or anti-black legislature. So the most hated group of all times, the group who's had more racial racism hatred of all times, the group that has the most hatred upon them by hatred statistics of all time, does not have legislature and talking about specifically having legislation for anti black legislature laws and protecting American blacks. Yes. And then unfortunately, some nerve of some people that have the skin of black who know who they are from certain parts of Africa, the ones this applies to. There are certain ones from certain islands, the ones this applies to, that have the audacity to run from that person's homeland. I'm talking the ones who do this, not because of, hey, just a different opportunity and they're not trying to disrespect American blacks. I'm not talking about them. Those are very small amounts. However, numbers within Americanism ran from the certain islands in certain parts of Africa to get away from people. They look like them. You think about that for a second and have the nerve to try to look down upon American blacks. The nerve. Which is a whole different topic in itself. Let me go ahead and start. Let me just play this video. And I want you to keep this in mind on this topic. House passes anti-Semitism legislature, right? Just keep this in mind. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. People found eternal under a certain type of Jawishness. You see it coming up, or may have came up a second ago. They found some eternal or eternals under a particular Jawish facility that wasn't talked about. Mm-hmm.
Why you need to expensive things? Not like this. We don't do that in America.
Let me play this last little part in about. Hold on. Play this again. The last part here. Secretness. I see nothing. I hear nothing. I know nothing. Right? Oh my goodness. And so you have personnel that don't like don't like analysis being relayed over. But remember, House passes anti-Semitism legislature, but at the same time, anti-black epidemicness, which is going all over. This is just an epidemicness of level. And the thing with the pro-Palestinian marches all over the place going on, which is an insult and should be considered terrorism. Right? But at the same time, American blacks are supposed to be picking sides between either pro-Palestinian personnel, right, How many of them benefit off black pain? Are American blacks supposed to be having sides with the however Israel type situations? He said, where are these personnel at demanding, however politicalness, demanding to sit there that politicals need to sit there and make it happen, Pacific law legislation for American blacks. Where are those personnel out again? And then see people who know they are, oh, they don't like that kind of reality. They be like, oh my goodness, now, oh, that person is anti-Semitic. Not playing that tactic. Gotta relay that over. Semitic, right, means Semite. Semite is not a look of a people, and especially talking about ancientness of personnel, not a people, singular. And you add to Semitic, meaning languages, Afro-Asiatic languages, hundreds of languages that fall under main groups and subgroups. Afro-Asiatic, but but little game playing, right? Little game playing. All of a sudden now, oh, it's dwindled down to a look of a person, right? Now that's anti-Semitism, right? Get out of here with that tactic. But hey, however it go, the games. It's unfortunate that multi-millions of American blacks don't understand what is going on around, but supposed to be the helpers and people of other people's problems. Now, relating to this particular also topic, let's go to the bill part of it. HR 6090. HR 6090. To provide for the consideration of a definition of anti-Semitism set forth by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance for the enforcement of federal anti-discrimination laws concerning education programs or activities and for other purposes. Where did that say anything about American blacks? Where did it say about helping all these other different people? It said set forth by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, not the International Remembrance of American Black Pain. Continuing. To provide for the consideration of a definition of anti-Semitism set forth by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance for the enforcement of, I've already read that. And the point is on that part, but remember, American blacks are supposed to get over the past, right? And many American blacks allow people to get over on that bullshit ass tactic. Games on that part. But continuing, it's insulting. It's embarrassing. It's insulting to the American black ancestors, especially ones that have transitioned, that sit there and formally saw the Jim Crow laws and policies, by the way, where American blacks could not go to ride any kind of buses, could not go stay in any kind of hotels, couldn't go to any kind of swimming pools, could not go stay in any kind of neighborhoods. Even now, none of the American blacks better not go into certain neighborhoods. And millions of American blacks allowing other cultures to sit there and dictate how American blacks should be thinking. Oh, what an insult on that. Continuing. It is the sense of Congress that Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, 42 USC 20, that's not important, prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, and national origin in programs and activities receiving federal financial assistance. While such title does not cover discrimination based solely on religion, not a person. Individuals who face discrimination based on actual or perceived shared ancestry or ethnic characteristics do not lose protection under such title for also being members of a group that share a common religion, which is Judaism. And you say, wait a minute now. So it's only a certain look of a people, which is but it says that's not a race of a people. You say, what is the people then? You say, what is a Jewish person? That's not a race, no. It's not an ethnic group, no. Well, what is it then? Oh, it's complexity and things like that. Oh my goodness, boy. But at the same time, you say anti-blackness. Oh my goodness, you got people that know they are that slot on the black banner who know they are, right? And in their own countries within certain types of a continent or in certain type of islands, the one this applies to, where there is still however parts of corruption and however types of intra-village, intra-town, intra-city strife among numbers of their own people, that you better best believe in certain parts of even Africa, you part of one village, you cannot sit there and go intermarry or even really get with somebody from another village. They know what I'm talking about is true. If you from a certain city, where you might not be able to go to another city, you from a certain other country within a certain part of Africa, you better not go to a certain other part of Africa and think they're going to right? But are certain type of islands that still have some intra Caribbean conflict, the ones this applies to, But at the same time, American blacks are not supposed to have their own Pacifically culture. God, this game. Continuing, discrimination against Jews may give rise to a violation of such title when the discrimination is based on race, color, or national origin, which can include discrimination based on actual or perceived shared ancestry or ethnic characteristics. Again, what does a actual Jewish person look like? Because Jewishism also practices Judaism faith, right? And there are various people who practice the Judaism faith. God, these games. It is the policy within Americanism to enforce such title against prohibited forms of discrimination rooted in anti-Semitism as vigorously as against all other forms of discrimination prohibited by such title. Where is the centuries of anti-black protection, specifically for American blacks? And even when there have been what should have been a law or laws that should have been for American blacks, it was watered freaking down generically. What an insult. Now, did you hear anything where I just read so far talking about this is generalness and for everybody, right? It said specifically by anti-Semitism. It said as noted in the U.S. national strategy to counter anti-Semitism issued by the White House on May the 25th, 2023. It is critical to increase awareness and understanding of anti-Semitism, including its threat to America. Wow. Improve safety and security for Jewish communities. But let's not secure and improve safety for American Black communities. What an insult. Reverse the normalization of anti-Semitism and counter anti-Semitism and Semitic discrimination. Expand communication and collaboration between communities. Anti-Semitism is on the rise in the United States and is impacting Jewish students and K through 12 schools, college, and university. How many personnel demographically are considered Jewish people? A few million people compared to 40 some plus million of American Blacks. What an insult. How many American Black kids, right? Small age brackets, high school, college, have been shown racial anti-American Black discrimination, racial racism, terrorism, but no anti-American Black law. Do you see how that goes? What an insult. The International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance working definition of anti-Semitism is a vital tool which helps individuals understand and identify the various manifestations of anti-Semitism. On December 11, 2019, Executive Order 13899 extended protections against discrimination under the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to individuals subjected to anti-Semitism on college and university campuses, and tasked federal agencies to consider that particular entity I just talked about, working definition of anti-Semitism when enforcing Title VI of such act. The White House released the first ever United States national strategy to counter anti-Semitism on May the 25th, 2023, making clear that the fight against this hate is a national bipartisan priority that must be successfully conducted through a whole of gov and society approach. What a insult.
I don't believe in segregation. I believe in slavery.
And look at this. On the left side, ladies, the middle, men, and the right, colored. Look. When the state of Israel was founded around 1948, what was going on in America still toward American Blacks? Not numbers of Africans, not numbers of certain parts of Caribbean personnel, to what people applies to, because their numbers would have been so minuscule, it's not even worth even talking about. Minuscule. So what was going on in 1948 when the state of Israel was going on, when it was founded? How many Jewish people were in the United States? Minuscule numbers. Because it's minuscule now, it's only a few million. Again, whatever that's supposed to mean. You say, what exactly does a Jewish person look like? But I don't want to go on all that part. So again, what was going on in 1947, 1948? Formal segregation of American Blacks was still going on, people. Reparations were still obviously not been given that should have been earned. But how many what we call Native Americans were still getting reparations then and still getting reparations now. Do you see this insultingness on that? The insultingness. Look at waiting room for colored only by order police department. Waiting room for colored only by order police department. This was going on less than 100 years ago. This was going on after the state of Israel was founded. And the hatred that's still going to American blacks right now. Now, again, I'm not talking about sellouts and gullible ones and Uncle Toms. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about those kind of personnel, right? Or Uncle Sambos, should we say, or Uncle Sue Sambos, right? So I just wanted to relate it over in this particular topic on this. I mean, it was such an insultingness that there's not an American black legislation going on, but you hear something about anti-Semitism. Let me play one last thing on something on that. Give me 1 second here. 1 second here.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
I don't know if you saw that.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
Israeli.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
Is a major problem, basically Israel. So the American blacks are the problem with higher parts of Israel. So from America going across the gigantic Atlantic Ocean, going across the Iberian Peninsula, Portugal, and you start going to Spain, and you start going across the other type of Western European countries, and you going past Eastern European countries, all the way around, going through the and depending on which way you're going through the land, are you going through the sea, going through the Strait of Gibraltar, going through the Mediterranean Ocean, all that stuff. You're going all the way around and stuff like that through Lebanon and Syria and all those places, going all the way down to Israel. And so the American blacks are the fault. Do you see how that sounds? Hey, however it goes, I'm just relaying information over. And this is why, again, I say the American blacks modern day only have half a generation to 1 generation left for the overall complete destruction of the American black culture. See, no other culture that has been in America for centuries would allow this blatant disrespect and insultingness. It's almost like people look at American blacks like they just magically appeared in America. And no other culture and background, turn lifestyle category can compare to the American blacks in achievements in this country. And to go through what American blacks have been going through for centuries, and now nobody else compares us. Nobody. Nobody compares to the amount of generational centuries of hatred. Well, what about the Indians? Go to hell with that tactic. You had however numbers of tribes. They're also enslaving American blacks. So go to hell with that. And you don't sit there and hear do your different native tribes saying, yes, we need to go ahead and get this reparations, right? Of course you don't hear it. So how many what we call Native Americans getting that reparations money right now for themselves? I ain't mad at the game, do they thing, right? But there's also American black natives or black natives that's having a struggle what's in there being recognized. And it's interesting how you don't hear the conversation about however numbers of personnel within Padambe's culture of how many generations that sit there and paid a few dollars and became what they call ones that have done this, Native Americans, right? Again, however it go, whatever it is. It's just interesting that you got things relating to specific for Native Americans all over the place. But at the same time, American blacks don't have no Pacific American anti-American black legislature, but it's talking about anti-Semitism. Now, however the game, whatever it is, because again, millions of American blacks within American blackism is allowing the blatant disrespect. So again, that's why I just want to relay this show over. Because watch how again, I'm saying this right now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, somebody listens to this show, somebody comes across this maybe, and they look back at that particular time and watch how still there will be no reparations given to American blacks in any kind of collective way. But at the same time, watch how even more border breakers will be coming across the border. Watch how other cultures' numbers will be increasing a little bit more and stuff like that. Watch how still the hatred of American blacks will continue to keep growing. And through hate statistics, will show that still. Watch, watch, and watch how still no Pacific American anti-American black law will be passed. And it's unfunny how it's like you got personnel who know they are, who try to jump on the black bandwagon and American blacks but want to do lineage. Hey, hold on, for you can't just jump into the American black lineage. No, no, no. But at the same time, American blacks can't go to certain parts of Africa and start talking about, hey, we're home, my brothers and sisters. I'm talking about who this applies to. They'd be like, no, you just don't come over here and we're just going to sit there and roll out the carpet and just give free resources and give free visas and give free, you can just pop out some kids, stuff like that, and have automatic citizenship. We ain't gonna allow it to keep happening like that. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. You ain't gonna go to certain types of beautiful Caribbean islands and play that tactic either. You're not gonna go to Caribbean islands and going over there and insulting America and the numbers of Caribbean people saying, "Hey, man, American blacks are more educated than you over here. What's the problem over here, man? Why is there so much poverty? They ain't gonna let you play that tactic. They ain't gonna let you go over there. American blacks gonna start talking about copying people music, saying it's their music. Oh, no, 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 it ain't gonna happen, right? American blacks can't go across no border and break immigration laws and stuff like that, or run across other cultures and stuff like that, and start demanding and stuff like that, and walk around with what do you call United States flags and start talking about and demanding like pro-Palestinian marches and American blacks on some of these. I know this is mythological. I'm just go with me. I'm just saying, American blacks will not go across that border breaking immigration laws and going to people's colleges across the border and say, oh, it's a lot cheaper across here, and going to other places across certain parts of the globe and going to colleges, starting up businesses of different places, and say, hey, what's our problem, man? I mean, we come over here and we're doing a lot better than many of your own people. What's the problem? And then they're sure not going to sit there and allow American blacks to have some American flag in different kind of countries and disrupting and blocking off bridges and blocking off colleges and causing all uproar. They ain't gonna allow it to happen, saying, "Oh, we know American blacks. You need to sit there. We are protesting back in America. To American political people to help American blacks out." They be like, "Why the hell you over here?" They ain't allowed to happen. It's allowed because the supremacist allows it to happen within Americanism, to allow other cultures and backgrounds to turn lifestyle categories to do what they want to do, and allow deranged feminism to sit there and also add to the destruction, right? Which then dwindles and seeps down to within certain types of American black women who sit there and then have a disdain for American black males and blame black males and no accountability to sit there and say, those particular American black women who do this pick the wrong man and have these kids with the wrong men and then blame American black males. I mean, the list goes on. It goes on. So again, this is why American blacks, modern day by the millions, will not have a Pacific American Black bill in the legislature. It's too many internal problems and too many games that are being allowed to be played, with very few exceptions. And the system knows it. There's only very few amount of American Blacks that know the games. Very few. So again, I wanted to do a quick show on this as a timepiece purpose. Because to look at this and be like, House passes anti-Semitism legislature, right? But you don't hear anything about Pacific anti-American Black legislature, who has the highest hate crimes put upon American Blacks, has had the most hate put upon American Blacks for centuries, the most hate laws put upon them in nobody's comparison, right? And can't get no sit there in anti-American Black legislature. But at the same time, sitting there helping border breaking illegal immigrant personnel out, right? The ones who know they are, bam, have a kids, bam, automatic citizenship, which is a whole different game in itself, right? Anchor babies, right? Helping border breakers out, illegal immigrant out, helping immigrating this type personnel with free resources, paying for apartments, paying for houses, right? Helping with businesses, resources. You see how that goes? But you don't hear no resource of Pacific American Blacks like to help other people out. Anti-Semitism legislature. But at the same time, no anti-American Black legislature. What a insult. What an insult.
Let us remember that we are not brutalized because we're Baptists. We're not brutalized because we're Methodists. We're not brutalized because we're Muslims. We're not brutalized because we're Catholics. We're brutalized because we are Black people in America.
This was still going on less than 100 years ago. This is still going on in the 60s. People. This is still going on in the 60s. This is going on before many other people and other cultures even existed in America in the 60s. And the very few amount of people who were over here from other different cultures had a minuscule demographics. And how many now are still benefiting off Black pain or American Black pain? It's the insultingness. Thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show.